Alright, let's get started here on the second game of the third match. So we're over the hump here. I'm playing NBN on the right, and Gabe is on the left. So this is my, been pretty successful with this Tag Storm deck. I'm trying to get them to score an agenda when they are low on credits, so that I could land a bunch of tags with mid-season, and then abuse that for the win. So I got an Inazuma I just drew into. I have some other ice. This looks like a pretty good opening for me. I got a SanSan there, so this, and I also have a Beal, so I like having a Beal in hand. And there's a mid-season. So I draw up, hoping to get some economy, and then I put down the opposite of economy, which is a card that the runner is going to want to trash, that SanSan. It's going into R&D first, and just sees a fast track. So I'm hoping they're going to run into that SanSan and want to trash it, because this deck doesn't care about the SanSan so much. I will res the Viper to keep Gabe out of my HQ. And that's a good utility card if he ever tries to come through and out-trace me for a Siphon. I could pump some money into that for some benefit. Oh, hoping not to do that though. Hoping to ice up over top of that before he comes in with a Siphon. So that was just an exploration run there. So I do, I think I do take one of his clicks here. You have to spend. So his last click, he puts down the Fairy.
I will take the mandatory draw.
So I get the fast track. I think my only ice in hand is Inazuma, so I don't really have a good way to ice up R&D, and I don't have money to res that ice. So that is my problem right now. HQ is reasonably secure for the time being. So drew up another agenda, which is not good. I do have the SanSan down. I could consider scoring out the Astro with the SanSan. So I did something odd there. I just threw down the Astro script on the table without something to defend it. He did not run on the SanSan, so I'm just taking a gamble here that he's going to ignore my remotes. Just feeling him out and hoping... You know, if he does take the Astro, I could potentially still mid-season him if he spends those credits before going in. So he draws up a card. He doesn't see anything on R&D, luckily. I also don't want to get flooded with agendas in my hands, so sometimes I will take this gamble. It has worked out for me in the past. Looks like he has an Inside Job and Emergency Shutdown in hand. So he is third click, Inside Job, and HQ. This evens out for him. He spends 2 on the Inside Job, gets 2 for Gabe. And he pulls a card, which I hope is not the agenda at this point. So he shuts down, not too worried about that. So looks like the gamble has worked out. I don't know if I score at the Astro here. If I do, I go broke, and then I'm in a bad position. If he comes in with an indexing or something like that. So I'm trying to decide if I want to... Usually it seems like a pretty obvious decision to just score out the Astro while it's safe. But he did not run on it. He is ignoring remotes, so I guess I'm thinking he might continue to ignore remotes, and maybe I am safe for another turn of build-up. Looks like I decided to just score it out. It was too juicy of a target. So watch out when you're playing against me, because I do bluff down agendas a lot. I don't know if that's smart to do, but so he gets back in the R&D, just sees the closed accounts. I've been getting lucky there. Just luck is all that's been going on. So I cannot afford to res the Viper. He's going to get in there. I am immune to account siphon, I like to say, in this situation. And he sees the Inazuma. So that is very good for him to know. I would prefer that he didn't know about the Inazuma, probably. But the Inazuma is in this deck just to tax. It's just very expensive to put that in front of something like an Eli or a Viper. Or a Caduceus. So I just take my money, hoping that R&D doesn't... You know, hoping I get more luck on R&D here. So the Astro script down has opened up a lot of possibility for me. He just sees no Ouroboros there. I will just hold on to that Astro unless if I happen to draw the other Astro, or I'm in a situation where that is just going to win me the game. I only have 2 Astros in the deck, and the reason for that is because I have 2 NAPDs. So he checks out R&D. He is... I really would like to stop him here, so I don't want him to keep getting free HQ accesses and building up money. So he ran in here as his last click, which was smart. He didn't have the breaker. He didn't want to put a lot of money into the Viper to get into my hand, so he just was trying to drain some more money. So it's a pretty smart play, I think. And I really needed to res that. So I'm in a pretty bad situation here. I'm not sure what I put over. I think I probably put the Eli over R&D. Might be a pop-up window. That's the only other thing I could think of what it might be. We've dumped a lot of cards there in the trash. It's not a good sign. Kind of hand is getting out of control. The problem with this deck is I've said in other videos, so I'm sorry if I'm repeating myself, but for new people, that I tend to acquire a lot of mid-season psychographics in my hand. They kind of clog things up. So he just put down the E3, and I was a little confused by this play. With what I've seen so far, he didn't seem to really need it, but, you know, seeing something like a Knight in Gabe is not unusual, so I guess at this point that's what I'm thinking is going on. He also drew the Silencer, so we were talking between this game, you know, he said, oh, you're, so he runs on archives just to see if I'm hiding anything, and I did have a market research hiding there. Just needed to clear up my hand, and I was hoping he wasn't going to run on it, especially with Gabe, you expect a sneak door down, and then they'll just be sneak dooring in, so I kind of took a gamble there. It didn't work out, and I'm not able to mid-season right now, so that was unfortunate, but I felt it was the necessary thing to do. So I was talking about that E3, but I lost my train of thought there, and that's okay.
That was one of the later data packets in the spin cycle.
So I think I need some money. I only have 2 credits right now. He is building up for sure. So I need to res whatever's over R&D. I need a sweep sweep. He is a... Okay, so I'm pretty sure that's the pop-up window over there. I figure if he comes in R&D, I won't be able to res what I think is the Eli, but I'll be able to get the pop-up going, and that'll slow him down on R&D. At least provide some incentive there. Yes. I need sweep sweep. He seems to have a good amount of cards at the end of his turn, so that would lead into the hedge fund, which would lead into the restructure. I would love to put something like blue level clearance in this deck. I think it would be really great. Or even just green level. I think it would be fantastic. So here's the sneak door. So this is, if he had this down the turn before, I think my market research would have been safe in archives until I got the Jackson Howard down. So he pulls the Beal. That was a great pull. I think that was a 1 in 5. So he's just going in more, sneaking in, doing tricky stuff. He sees the mid-season, so he knows exactly what is going on here. And he doesn't seem to be worried about the mid-season. I might be if I was him. Just I'd be worried that the Corp can... Yeah, it would be something like a sweep sweep hedge fund mid-season for a bunch of tags. But it's not really working out for me here. So this means I only have 1 more opportunity for mid-season. I only have 2 pointers in the deck. It's 2 pointers for the runner, 3 pointers for the Corp. And so that is the Jackson Howard down, I believe. So he's sneak dooring in, he's getting his money. Sees the Ouroboros. So he sees Jackson Howard. I don't really have anything in my trash I care about, so I'm letting him trash it if he wants, and he does. I very often let them trash the Jackson Howard. So he sees the SanSan, does not have enough to trash it. So that worked out pretty well. I am hoping that he decides to trash it later. So he's going into the hand, getting some more intel, maybe pulling an agenda. I am going to have to seal up that hole soon. And I could have scored out that Beal a lot sooner with the Astro script, but that is not what I want to be doing in this deck. Beals are super valuable. Beals just win games in this deck. So I was just hoping he wouldn't take it. At the time, he didn't have the sneak door as well, so it seemed reasonably safe. Another priority here is I think I need to get another ice over... I need to get that Inazuma over HQ. I don't necessarily like to put Inazuma over HQ. So I rezzed Eli. That basically shuts off Sneak Door. It's with you know, Gabe could spend his clicks. It's in some cases still useful to do. You're getting your money, you're getting a card access, but it's not super efficient at that point. You really want something like a Data Sucker or Desperado, at which point I think that starts to be worth it. It depends on the situation, but in general, I think if he's Sneak Doorn in HQ every turn through Eli, I am okay with it for the time being. Another possible play I could be doing here, which could be interesting, is I could have fast-tracked right then for the other Astro Script, and then just like taken some money or something, and then let him... He'd only get one access on HQ through Sneak Door, so just taking my chances there, and then screw out the second Astro Script. I think that could have been a good play. I wasn't really thinking about that. It looks like he's not going into HQ this turn. I believe he just drew up a couple cards. Especially with that E3 down, I should be really a lot more worried about Night Siphon than I am. I don't seem to be concerned about that. Oh yeah, he had the Crowdar, so he could totally just go in there with money. And he sees the mid-season again. Ah, that's what I wanted a lot sooner. So now I'm in a little bit of a trouble here. I think what I need to do with HQ eventually is put the Caduceus and then Inazuma on top of it. He would presumably have a Code Gate Breaker by then, but I think that would be pretty expensive to get through.
Install, money, money.
Might stop a Siphon. So I decide I don't want him getting into HQ anymore, even if he's spending clicks and money, and put something above that. I think that's the Caduceus. I also wouldn't mind him blowing a fairy on a Caduceus. I would be okay with that. I have Ouroboros in the deck. So he's drawn up another Silencer. Should have had the camera a little bit more to the left in this game. Oh, drew another Beal. So he has, it looks like 8 credits. The good news is I'm not drawing my Econ cards, so I will get them in the late game. If I could survive that long. So I decided just to get the Beal out of my hand. I'm not sure if that was the right decision. I think the reason I did that is my hand was full of stuff that I wanted. There's at least one closed accounts, there's a mid-season, there must be a Psycho by now. I can't really see other cards, but I think I have a lot of stuff in my hand I really want to keep. And so I needed to clear a card out of my hand that turn, and that was a way to do it, and also get myself closer to victory. So now all I need to do is score a market research while he's tagged, and I'll win. Okay, yeah, so I have a market research hand. I have a lot of things I need. I need to give him an NAPD, and then I can finish this game out. I have the Psycho, I have the mid-season, I have the market research, I have a closed accounts to slow him down once I get the tags. Second clickie's running in. I decide to spend 3 credits. This will work out if I draw Sweeps Week soon. So he, yeah, I'm reminding him that he can use the Silencer token for the fairy, which he does do. And so he gets through the fairy, and he spends the clicks through Eli, just building up his Econ some more. Oh, there we go, the camera moved to the left, that worked out. Ooh, okay, so he sees the mid-season, getting it with the 3rd, 4th time he's seen that. And that was his turn. So draw another mid-season. I don't technically need to keep that one. So I'm still not drawing my Econ. So just clicking for money. This is a problem the deck has. But it is sitting back waiting for things to line up. I believe we got rid of one of the mid-seasons there. Well, I think we lost that credit. I think we failed to find that credit that just fell. We're looking around for it. I don't know if I should count that as spent. We're letting him take it back. Alright, so if he gets another silencer down. As soon as that dagger goes down, he is getting through my sentries. For really cheap. There it is. Now he has another way back into HQ. Glad I have the Eli. Although I'm still okay with that. He's he has 2 silencers, so he's only going to be spending 1 credit to get through that Caduceus, which is dirt cheap. But the Eli is still costing him money. There, he drew a Siphon, if he didn't already have one. Looks like he has a Siphon. I can't tell what that card looks like. Scheherazade, but I'm guessing that's not it. And then maybe a Plascrete. Okay, there's another SanSan. That is not going to be too useful outside of maybe baiting a run, and then yeah, I'm in the position where I need to dump cards in my hand, so I look at the ice there like trying to bait him into that server. So I figure he's gonna probably waste a click in it. Also look at my archives there, making it look like a Jackson Howard for some reason. Or I might have actually, I think I was looking for Econ. I was trying to figure out where my Econ cards were, if I'd used any yet. Yeah, so he goes in. I res an Eli because I want to slow him down. So I'm hoping he trashes this here. With 2 on the table, he might ignore it. Now he does trash it. And it looks like it's hard to tell how many credits are up there. Might just be 3. I feel like there's probably a 5 up there though. Not quite sure. Just really having an econ problem in this game. I just need to wait until I could get. There's another Psycho. So I need to hold on to the Psychos. It's more of my hand space taken up. This game is really demonstrating the problems I have with this deck. So ditch something there. I'm not quite sure what that was. And yeah, I get rid of a Psycho because I only need to use 1 Psycho to win. So I get rid of 1. So I have a Beal, a mid-season, a Psycho, a closed accounts, and another card I'm forgetting. So he drew up for his first click. And so he Sneak Doors? I believe it's a Sneak Door run. Okay, so he clicks through Eli again, gets a little bit more money, and gets a card access. So he gets a market research. This might work out. I'm moving the mid-seasons to the right side. Get a closed account. And I think he's at like 3 or 4 credits, I think. So what so I'm drawing, hoping for some econ. Toll Booth I don't really care about. Yeah, so I decided I mid-season, and it's a Trace 8, and I believe he's at 3 credits. So he would take 5 tags if he spent all his money, which is all I need to win. 5 is plenty. And it doesn't seem like he's probably going to clear him. He has Siphon in his deck. He doesn't have any resources down. So yeah, it looks like he takes all 8. And I do have a Sweep Sweep in my hand, so that will help me recover econ. And all I need to do to win here is draw a market research, which there are... Oh, I think he's scored 2 market research, right? So there's only 1 more of those, but there's 2 more Beal. And then there is an Astroscript, which I would score with a Psycho. So any of my agendas at this point are good. It looks like he only take 4? Maybe he'd spend some money on that. Oh no, I remember. That what looks like a bad pub there we're saying is just a 5 tag, so he has 8 tags there. Yeah, so he's lamenting the fact that he hasn't been able to get into HQ without Snake Door because he has Siphon in hand. Not this turn, but I think he wants to get into HQ through Viper. And his code gate, I mean, maybe he's not drawn Data Suckers, but his code gate breaker must be something like Gordian. Surprised none of the NAPDs came up in this game. That's the agenda I do not want to draw. That one is really bad right now. So he sees to close the count. He knows he cannot build up money. Oh, 2 sweeps week, so this worked out perfect. Now is where the econ starts coming in right when I need it. So he actually has too many cards in hand, so this is just... so first click I take a credit, and then I'm waiting for him to discard a card. And so I know he's at 5, and then I get a couple sweeps week. Which is exactly what I needed. So now I have the money I need to close out this game. So I closed his accounts, and instead of... I thought I would trigger the other sweeps week there. That was probably the better play. I have enough money now to even just win the game at this point if I draw the right agenda. And I can close his accounts again. I think I have another closed accounts in hand. And I have a sweeps in hand. He did not have that much money to even play a card out. So he takes money, he plays a Dirty Laundry. And he has 1 click left, which I hope will be draw a card.
I'll take the mandatory draw. First click, I will sweep.
So I sweeps again for another 4 credits.
Second click, I will install. Third click, I will psychographics for 5.
I must have just scored that Beal. I must have just drawn that Beal just recently because I don't think that was in the hand. So that was the game. The econ came through right at the end, right as I needed it. So I sometimes, you know, get upset when I'm not drawing the econ cards I need in the early game, and it really sucks. But that just means you're gonna get in the late game, so you just gotta survive.
That was like when I went down to 0 money.
Yeah, and you know, I don't.
R&D was pretty.
Oh yeah, he got all those R&D X's early, so that was a lot of luck there. That could have easily R&D should have been leaking a jet. Like he should have at least got 1 or 2 off R&D with all his accesses probably. But once I put ice down, he stopped checking. Didn't need to res anything. But yeah, he put a lot of pressure on. I could have gone the other way very easily. I got a little bit lucky there, and that last mid-season play opened up at the right time, and that was the game. Thanks for watching. There will be more soon.